Imagine that everything works out as if God Himself is acting through you. Your actions seem to happen not by you, but flow through you, and you don't need to put in a lot of effort to get results, but only experience a state close to ecstasy. Remember, surely you have such experience when you don't notice how time flies during your favorite activity. And in the flow of creativity, you can sing, dance, write texts, play football, or conduct meetings in the office or give presentations. At first, typically you can't make yourself sit down to this work, but then suddenly you feel like a god of charisma, appropriate jokes, apt comparisons, and you feel yourself in the flow. And when you later remember these moments, you think, oh, how good I was. And you know exactly how to act, live, interact with people. You have some inexplicable clarity of consciousness. But you can't stay in this mode for long. And you return again to routine and gray weekdays. What needs to be done to enter this flow state? You feel that you're capable of more, don't you? In this video, I'll give you 3 keys to entering the flow state and feeling like you're living at 100%, which absolutely anyone can apply, because this is our natural state. When you channel life energy through yourself, it fills you, nourishes you, and you activate that very God mode. In everyday life, we often operate on autopilot and live as if in Groundhog Day. We constantly get tired, become irritated, escape to social media or watching series, thereby getting cheap dopamine and losing the ability to activate that very God mode. We postpone important things until tomorrow and life for the future that never comes. But what if I tell you that activating it is quite simple and without any pills like in movies, but with a proven methodology that has been passed down through generations of teachers and has been preserved in one form or another in all traditions and teachings? But first we need to figure out 2 things. First, where do we drain our energy? And second, how do we block its flow? First, so where do we drain our energy and why do we always lack it? Imagine your usual morning. How quickly after waking up do you start checking your social media and messengers? Perhaps even today, before you went to wash up and brush your teeth, you already spent significant time scrolling through social media feeds, and before going to bed in the evening, you definitely watched a series. By doing so, you've received cheap dopamine, which inevitably leads to procrastination. And instead of being here and now, in the present moment and feeling your life, sensing how better to act or what better to say, your attention becomes sluggish and scattered. An unfocused, sluggish attention leads to us constantly sending our energy either to the past or future. We think, I should have said, if only I had acted differently. Second, we not only spend huge amounts of energy on our fears and worries, but we also fence ourselves off from this life energy that everything consists of. We don't know how to enter this flow state because we block it. Well, imagine typical procrastination. You get up in the morning, need to go to work, it's cold or raining outside, stuck in traffic again, leaden sky. You don't want anything and you start complaining about your life, thereby putting up a wall between yourself and it. If you're eternally dissatisfied with yourself, work, loved ones, weather, government, then you create only dissatisfaction around yourself. After all, quantum physics has long proven that this unified field around us responds to our intention. What you radiate is what you receive. This space is wise and alive, and as conductors of this life energy, we always have access to its unlimited amount. But the main thing is to stop fencing ourselves off from it. And broadly speaking, to not waste energy and not block the flow of this life energy, we need to pull our attention out of thoughts into what's happening here and now. Because in a flow state, you are maximally concentrated on the process you're doing. And if your attention is weak and scattered, you will fall out of the present moment at any distracting factor. And key number 1 is to simply train your attention so that it becomes strong and you can activate God mode as needed. What's always in the here and now? It's your body. Return attention to the body as soon as you remember about it. If you've flown away somewhere in thoughts or got lost, Just return to the sensations in the body. Right now, feel how you're sitting, how clothes fit against your body. Ideally, you need to allocate time for meditative techniques both morning and evening, and turn off notifications on your phone altogether so you're not so abruptly and frequently pulled out of presence in the present moment. This is easiest to train on a retreat when you have an information detox, nothing distracts you, and you're under the supervision of professional masters. Only being in the here and now gives such fulfillment with peace and joy that allows creating bold projects and realizing cherished dreams. Key number 2 is to start acting. If you don't know how to get yourself off the couch, then just go outside and start walking. Take yourself for a walk or run or a bike ride, because then you launch other motor protocols in your brain. You switch to the so-called spontaneous mode. The thing is that our prefrontal cortex, responsible for long-term planning, predicting results, and general self-control, blocks that very flow state. And to engage other neural circuits, you need to start acting, not analyzing whether you'll succeed or not. Don't go into doubts and fears. Only those who do nothing make no mistakes, and when you start acting, you get unexpected associations, non-obvious creative solutions, and you kind of connect to the field of brilliant ideas and solutions. Remember that this God mode is not some personal energy flow of yours, but you open up to the energy of the unified field of consciousness and enter its more subtle layers of perception. But for this, you need to change your attitude towards your life and remove pretension, as well as switch from analytical thinking of the prefrontal cortex to spontaneous creative mode. And then you'll be surprised at what you're capable of. Key number 3 is service or care or transmission. This is removing the focus of attention from your problems to the space around us and its needs. To activate God mode, become like Him. He is loving and giving, and you become the same. But first, we need to synchronize in terms. By God, I mean the unified quantum field, unified consciousness. This energy that everything consists of and permeates everything is always available to us. In different cultures, it's called chi, prana, and it fills us with peace and joy if we conduct it and direct it to serving this world rather than our selfish needs. At the same time, our needs are met by themselves if we live in a flow state and share our heart warmth, our gratitude and care with others. The essence is as follows. When you build an intention to implement some project, by your intention alone you structure this quantum soup, and energy is allocated for your desire. Then, through actions, you begin to realize it. If, of course, you don't drain everything into doubts and fears, the amount of this energy depends not only on the difficulty of your chosen project, but also on whether it will benefit this world. We learn to be creators, and a creator creates and builds. And when we become like Him, then all the power of the universe is available to us, and we live in a flow state, and God mode for us is a real experience when everything is possible.